My 2016 Tacoma recently got a new set of kicks, 17-inch VTX Rogue wheels in black, and 285/70 R17 Goodyear Wrangler DuraTrack tires. I love the way that it's transformed the look of the truck. Unfortunately, I've got some rubbing issues going on. Let me give you a closer look. Now, the most obvious rubbing that I've got on the vehicle is on the inner fender liner, and I can hear it popping every time that I turn the wheel sharp. If you look closely, we've got some rubbing right here and then on the inner liner as well. Now, those are pretty minor overall. I think I can do a little bit of trimming and maybe take a heat gun to this inner portion and just kind of push it in and get the clearance that I need. But the bigger issue that we've got going on is that we're also rubbing on the cab mount right here. You can see it's not real major, but depending on the angle of the vehicle, the articulation, that can become more severe. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that getting this wheel and tire package installed has been quite an ordeal. Before doing this whole process, I had a 2-inch spacer in the front and a 1-inch block in the rear, and I was trying to get the wheels and tires on without making any changes to the suspension. Took it down to get them installed, and it was not even close. And so I used this opportunity as an excuse to upgrade the suspension on the truck. Went with the Icon Stage 2 setup, which should give you 2.75 inches of maximum lift in the front, and then 1.5 inches in the rear. Now, if you watch one of my recent uploads, I let you guys know that I'm not getting that 1.5 inches in the back. I did call Icon to ask them about it. They said that on the average Tacoma that they've done this kit on, that's what they're seeing is 1.5 inches. So they're not sure why I'm not getting that. Since talking to them, I think it may be because this is the long bed. So this is gonna weigh more in the back than a short bed model. Plus I've got the tonneau cover. Both of those are compressing it down, and I think that's why I'm not getting that full 1.5 inches. Now, the problem with not getting the full 1.5 inches in the back is that unless I want it to sag, I can't get the full 2.75 in the front. So I've got it sitting level right now, and I'm sitting about 2.25 in the front. So I could be lifting it about 1/2 inch more in the front if the back was sitting higher. Now, I did ask them about the overload spring. The instruction manual said to not put it back in place, so I pulled it out. Talking to them on the phone, they said that you actually can leave that overload spring in place. Question is, do I put the overload spring back in, or do I put my 1-inch block that I had previously? My guess is that the overload won't serve any purpose other than raising the vehicle now that I've got the add a leaf. I don't think it will compress down enough to where the overload will ever come into play. So my leaning is to go with 1-inch block in the rear, raise that up, and then it gives me not only a rake on the truck, which I'd like to have, but then also the flexibility that if I want to raise the front a little further, then I can. So that's kind of where I'm at with the lift. Now, even if I could max out that front lift at the full 2.75 inches, I'm pretty sure that I'd still be rubbing. And so I started researching cab mount relocation kits and cab mount chops. Came across a website called NTK Fabworks. I'll put a link to it in the description below. They've got a really cool kit where you completely remove the cab mount that comes stock on the truck and replace it with their product. You can see looking underneath that this cab mount is really bulky, and theirs is quite a bit more efficient. So you completely remove this cab mount, install their product, and you get a nice increase in overall clearance. Now, I was gonna go down that route, but it's also a very involved installation. You've gotta, again, completely remove what's there, and then prep it for the new one, install the new mount, and I knew it could get very pricey. So I decided to skip that route and just go with the cab mount chop. Now, with the cab mount chop, you're basically just cutting this plate in the front and kind of pulling it back. Get yourself about 1/2 inch of additional clearance, which is probably going to give us what we need for this set of 33-inch tires. If you wanted to go with like 35-inch tires, then you'd probably have to go with that relocation kit. Now, MTK does also have these little cab mount chop plates that you can use. So I got a set of these. They're basically going to replace the front portion of that cab mount. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to be going down to a shop in the morning to get this done. Typically, I like to do projects myself, but when it comes to cutting, cab mount, and doing any sort of welding work, that's out of my area of expertise. So I'm going to be paying someone to do this project. Take it down in the morning, and then I'll show you what it looks like after the work's been completed. Well, the cab mount chop is complete now, and everything went as planned. We don't have any rubbing on the cab mount any longer. You'll see if we look in here, you can see that new plate that's in place. And then we also trimmed just a little bit of the plastic back here to give us full clearance. Now, I am still getting just a little bit of rubbing up here. You can see with the way the wheel's angled here that in certain situations we're getting a little bit of rubbing on this inner liner. And so I'm going to get a heat gun and push that in. Just haven't had a chance yet to address that. And then we'll also walk around to the other side of the vehicle and give you a look over on this side. This is where we had the issue originally, was when the wheels turned this direction. That's where we were getting that rubbing on the cab mount. And you can see now that we've got plenty of clearance. I'll give you a quick under view as well to show you how it's kind of been cut back. So it looks pretty good with those NTK plates. And most importantly, we're not rubbing anymore. So I just need to get that front fender liner taken care of. Otherwise, cab mount chop is complete, and it's looking like things are headed in the right direction. Obviously, it's been a little bit more involved than what I had hoped for, but we're getting things resolved, and certainly looks pretty nice. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. For more third generation Tacoma videos, also subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.